It's your boy Young Love, I give him that time. Pancho leg stand, Panchi America, Panji Dwal, Banaban, Pancho leg stand, Panchi America, Panji Dwal, Banaban, walk on your leg, Kankara, what I know what you, Oga leg, gear, power, leg, Panda with ya, Panchi America, Panya Dwalabano, Chingatonga Pandon, could you ever buy a check? Papu Panda Jiro, what ya be Dwalabanting. Stand Panchi America, Panji Dwal, Banaban, Pancha leg stand Panchi America, Panji Dwal, Banaban, walk on your leg, Kankara, what I know what you, Oga leg, gear, power, leg, Panda with ya, Panchi America, Panya Dwalabano, Chingatonga Pandon, Kujera by a check.
Hey, welcome guys, welcome everybody. Isaac, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Good
morning to you guys and good evening to us. We are here, our guest is here. Welcome Peter Ken. Please guys start sharing the video before we bring our guest up. Thank you guys for listening. Let me play a little bit music while we are waiting for the guest. The guest is here, and then start sharing the video, guys. I need a lot of people to hear. Start sharing, guys. You can, whenever you're ready, you can come back up. Alam juwonda, alam juwokol, alam juwonda, alam juwokol, alam juwonda, alam juwokol. Denga kunwer kushulu kanya kumurle, denga kunwer kushulu kanya kumurle. Moro kuzande wujur bel kacholi kupajulu. Roka mimba manu edabai, ba nyite kudang rine bai, ba nyite kudang mide bai, ba nyite kudang rine bai, ba nyite kudang mide bai. Pele ko kriya yakan kujiru bapanda, pele ko kriya yakan kujiru bapanda, pele ko kriya yakan kujiru bapanda, pele ko kriya yakan kujiru bapanda. Ba nyite kudang rine bai, ba nyite kudang mide bai, ba nyite kudang rine bai. Okay, Isaac, thank you for coming. I will not finish a lot of music. So it's late in Nairobi. It's almost 12 midnight. So we will not play a lot of music. So our guest is too late, so we will bring him up. Thank you guys for coming in. Peter, if you can come up so we introduce our guest so that I can bring him up. Thank you all for coming, watching. Please, for those of you who are watching Lake State Media, please share. Our guest, Dr. Sandy John, is here with us tonight. We will be asking questions. So for both of you who are watching, so thank you so much and share the video. Welcome. I will bring our brother,
Dr. Sunny De John up. Thank you, brother Sunny De John. Dr. Sunny John, welcome to Lagos State Media. How are you doing, sir?
Salam alaikum. I am doing fine.
Yeah, alaikum salam. I know it's
been so long.
yeah. So yeah, me and my co-host Isaac TL Paul is one of the Lagos State Media hosts, and I have another one, Peter Ken. So he's here with us, and Abem Bol Makur. So we are a host at Lagos State Media. So tonight we will be asking you questions regarding about what's going on in your party, and we will not be allowed outside. The only people who will ask you question is only Lagos State Media staff. So thank you so much for coming in, and please introduce yourself. Isaac, you can go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Isaac. I'm one of the Lagos State Media hosts and team member. I'm in Australia. Yeah. So welcome to Lagos State Media Show. For this night, I know it's very late, and I have to say thank you for turning in to come and brief the South Sudanese of what is going on in the party. Everybody is happy to hear from you. So we welcome you once again. We'll have some more questions to ask you in a few moments to come. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Isaac. So the show, we will conduct the show in English so that our South Sudanese can listening. So Dr. Sandy John, welcome to Lagos State Media. So I will ask you the question. As we all see, for first few days, we see in social media that we see the news that you have been suspended from your party, which is South Sudan United Front. So what's going on in your party? What happened? Can you tell us a little more what's going on in your party? Why the General Malong was suspending you from the party?
Well, thank you very much, Brother Matik Majak and Brother Isaac Tiang Paul. Yes, I know Isaac Tiang is an old boy of Yoruba boys, and later on Mapodi. Those places are fast.
Classmate.
Those are our foundational areas, and then we later on dispersed to later develop our academic journeys in different parts of the world. So I'm pleased having met you again today, and it's my second time to be live on Lake State Media, and I am very appreciative for giving me the platform so that I can be able to share with the audience about the things that have transpired in the South Sudan United Front. I am not going to talk in length for a number of reasons, but I will only narrow down to two of them. One is that I have a very hoarse voice. Secondly, to excessive communication for the last 6 days of these matters. And so I've had calls right, left, up, and down like that. And the other one is the lateness of the hour as per my part of the world that I'm in. So to respond to your question, I will not exactly make an account of things that have transpired one by one, but I would want to reiterate what I have mentioned many times in the last few days, that when the hyena wants to eat its cubs, what it does is it first accuses them of smelling like goats, and then it will begin to eat now because they smell like goat. That would be the reason. That is actually the case that has happened to me during the establishment of South Sudan United Front in April 2018. I was an integral part of putting together that house, and starting now working together with the team. But there were ups and downs that were happening, leading to so many defections back to Juba uh, on several counts. And those things, when I configure to know what is actually going on, I trickled down to the issue of management. And so I could not say a thing because I am a subordinate in the first place. And second to this, I am closer to the leader, and I should not be negative about what is going on, particularly in his office, because it encompasses both of us. I kept quiet, and the defection became the norm. And very many people, from Brother Jang Ajang down to people like Ustaz Luz and Madud Kundi, down to people like Dud Yaya Anyar and Secretary General, formerly the Deputy Governor of Lake State, David Nokbarial, and many others. This is only a reason of management. And this has become a norm. The management is not an issue of incapability in terms of maybe hardcore work, but it is an issue of negative influence, which I later on found out to be nepotism. All these have been happening. And then over years, we have been working, and chairman was cordial, General Malong, the chairman that I divorced, and as per the agreement of the national executive members. And then eventually he opted now to eat us away after exhaustion on political line, and after the lengthening of the peace talks in Rome. So General Malong eventually opted to hate people, even when there is no good reason, because he gets so much small that he hears gossips from people around him, particularly the homeboys. I don't want to mention names because it is not very important. It is just to sound like a derogatory expression in that manner. So that is what transpired. And later on, after exhaustive conflict that has lasted for nearly 2.5 months, General himself took over the conflict to himself, and he began to charge people at will with a lot of anger and all this. I could not say a thing. I take it lightly simply because he is an elder and he can yell at you, and there is no problem with that. It's normal in our society. So this is what has happened. And there happened to be a day 2 weeks back, actually, when General called me upon the assignment that I was given, the evaluation, together with the team of the army, cadres on assumption, so that they can be ranked. And that was done. And later on, I made a printout together with the order, that would now be used as a platform for declaring the officers to have been ranked. This document I gave to General, and there was no any other reason beyond it. And he stayed with it for a number of days. And after a few days, he called us. And then he surprised us that the list that I gave him in a certain envelope, which he exactly brought with that envelope, together with other documents that were in it, was sent back by an informant from Juba to him. And Sunday was the one who sent it to that person. And then after expressing that, he showed us the list. And as a matter of honesty, that was the latest list that I read, and I did not share it with any of the members. And so I cannot say I was with so and so. That is dishonest, and I will only be implicating colleagues when they have done nothing wrong. in that manner. So I told General that I am not accepting the fact that you are saying the list was sent back from Juba for a number of reasons. One, the list is authentically what I have printed, and it is in the envelope with which I brought it to you. So there would have been no way Juba people that have been sent the list could bring it back through the same envelope that I gave you, and together with other documents that are not that list in the same envelope. That is one. And General decided to get annoyed, and he walked away. He could not listen to me. He told those who were sitting with me, although they are mincing words today, the honesty aspect of everything will own them as time goes by, because of the manipulative things that have happened maybe a day later after me. These people were colleagues, elderly, Justice Malek, two other, four other young guys, namely Dixon Galwa, and also Emmanuel Majur, and McCoy Majak, and Deng Kwan. We were there. General did not want to talk. He only has to say the list came from Juba, and we must accept it like that. And then he left. So I told the group that we are supposed to discuss on this matter, simply because it is important in that it is a question of integrity. It is also a question of exposure of our own activities to an enemy. So it is pertinent, and we have to know exactly what has happened. So on the deliberation, good suggestions were made by namely Gulwak, Dixon, Emmanuel Majur, and also Deng Kwan and McCoy in support of Uncle Maleng. And it was agreed that there is supposed to be a committee that should be established to investigate firsthand on the forensic aspect to know this. And what should be done is the number, if it was sent to General by number, it could be taken to the institution that is in charge, that is the telecommunication sector, to detect exactly the source of the leakage. That would be one. The second one would be, even from the top, it would be known that the list was leaked. But when I looked at it keenly, I could agree without the say that General only picked the same envelope and brought it to us, because he has been in fighting mood for the rest of 2 weeks, and he was only fighting me. And he even told me that he was going to accuse me one day. So I knew the D-Day was there now for my accusation. But I was sure the list was a list that is comprising of only 66 officers, and some of them are my immediate brothers. Some of them are immediate brothers of Emmanuel. And there is no way, if you were at all be heartless and you want to maybe harm people, that you put your brother on the list and send it to the government that is fighting with you. You would be jeopardizing them, and that one is even also unacceptable naturally. You cannot do that one, given the ethics. And I have a background of being a medic, so my work is privacy is acceptable. I should always respect the privacy of whoever I am handling. So these things were put to question, and I was devastated because that is not my character, but the chairman has opted also to do that one in my name. And then he was not sitting down, but I persisted that he should be called so that he can listen to us, because he's our leader, and a leader should listen to people, even when it is in the face of adversity. But he could not accept. He walked away, and we deliberated in his absence, and then we concluded that he should be called to know what we have agreed, and that was to form the investigation team, a committee to investigate us with him, because he is the holder of the list and me, and I do not have to lie that I have to implicate my colleagues that were there. So this one was what happened, and as a matter of fact, General said no, he cannot come to discuss when I am still there. So Sunday should leave so he can accept to come to the team. That one, I said, why would I be discussed in my absentia? Why would the general allow me to be present so that you people can discuss about me when I am listening, even if I would not be allowed to talk? And so the rest said no, he accepted so kindly move away. So I opted to leave. And when he came to them, he told them there was no need for investigation because he is honest to himself and he cannot work against himself, according to the explanation given by Maju. And that it has to be confirmed that Sunday is the actor in the matter. And after I left, I could not do anything. Instead, I was accompanied the following day with a suspension letter that I had been suspended. And the suspension insinuated a point of appreciation. If you are suspended, it is an interim matter. It involves something to do with given a period of time that you can be away so that a certain procedure is undertaken. But the procedures would not involve you being appreciated for the big role that you have played the other day. That one is an indication of something sinister. It is a dismissal, but it was made like that to sound like suspension to block other matters that I am involved in front. And then that was what happened. I saw it in the social media. There was nothing I could do. I only read it, and I know it is on our documents, and so I call it authentic. So I accept it, and I calm those who were reacting that the matter would be resolved in a manner that is systematic and procedural. And then I stayed. The following day, a number of things happened. One, I was removed from SOMA as an alternate leader at the SOMA Leadership Council. And then the meeting was believed that Sunday has been suspended because he has been leaking documents to the government. That is that. And again, I was also replaced with two of my colleagues in the dockets that I was holding as the spokesperson of the group. And then that was just one day after the suspension. And there was no team to investigate me that was formed. Then that was what happened the second day. And again, I asked of what should transpire, but nothing was transpiring. Instead, a meeting was conducted to consider whether I will be dismissed or not. And then by the debate of the members, there was no reason for dismissal since there was no evidence indicating that I have done something wrong. So that was what happened. And eventually, I was agreed because I was, first of all, tarnished. My name has been spoiled. Second to this, I have been deprived of my responsibilities. Thirdly, my role that I have played from the inception of SAP has been dealt with a blow by a team that actually has negatively worked against SAP over years, including the complete demise of the army, which is no longer there up to now. So all these were the things that happened. And so I have colleagues that have worked with me and that knows the values on which SAP would be formed. Now we sat down to deliberate as to what could have been the reason. We knew a chairman had other things that he is doing outside our knowledge, that we would tell one or two people and tell you not to tell the other, or tell the other not to tell you, like that. That is the dubious way we have been working, simply because of the desperation to maybe go to Juba and have maybe comfort back home, because maybe the butch has taken long, given the comforts of the other day. So this thing was what has happened. And after the deliberation, we thought SAP was going to the wrong direction. Cadres have been allowed to leave, and general will always make you sit down and tell you that nobody is a property of anybody. So at will you can come, at will you can go. There is no anything like management system. This has happened severally. And so I knew there was nothing that was going on. And based on the resolution that was made, we accepted to say General Malong has many things that he is craving or of doing elsewhere in Juba. So we have to agree that we restructure our leadership, and that is the basis of his removal. And after having been removed, he reacted angrily and then set up boys to insult at will everywhere, like people are seeing on the social media. But we have to maintain calm always on our side as a team of leaders that think SAP has a bright future and it has to be pursued. So that is exactly what transpired. And this evening he opted also to dismiss me after I have already removed him through the permission of the National Executive Committee resolution in 3 days meeting. So that is what actually happened. And we have mentioned the grounds.
Okay.
He was relieved. One is that he has no welfare policies, strategies, and programs, and that his rebellion was only sentimental because he does not say anything besides his personal conflict with others in the government, like President Kiir. And also, he has shown no vibrancy completely because he lacks managerial skills. Although he is experienced militant, he would only want to manage people the army way, or I don't know, whichever way he would want. Plus many other things that you have seen in the letter. So all those things became our ground for his removal, so that SAP cannot stay stagnated, so that it can be a vibrant organization.
Sunday, can you hear me? Sunday, can you hear me?
Sunday, can you hear us?
Yes, I can
Sunday.
hear you.
Okay. To save time, I know it's getting late for you. Still, you are not going to be here long. We're just going to have a few questions, and maybe if you can answer them in short way. First of all, I want to know what is the formation of your party? What is the formation? What is the hierarchy? Where now you have, it is in a situation now, it seems like the party is split into two. Which side of the hierarchy that is on your side, and which one is that on side of the general Malong?
Can somebody reiterate this question because I did not get?
Okay, Sunday, your do you have a earphone? Yours is make echo sound.
Yeah, I have earpiece. Let me try.
Yeah, to put it on. Yes, that's why. So it's doing echo sound. So put your earphone on. It will be good.
Let me try. Just a minute.
Okay.
Yes. Is it good now?
Yeah, now it's good. So thank you. Yeah, go ahead. Peter, can you repeat your question?
So the question is simple. Now it looks like the party is split into two. Here you said you guys did a declaration and you are now the interim leader of the party. And yet you are being actually dismissed by General Malong. So what is the hierarchy of the party? And which group is standing with you and which group is standing with General Malong?
After the declaration of today, we have been caught by the weekend, that is the rest time. You will be able to know the group that I am with on this coming Monday as we restructure ourselves. His dismissal is invalidated by the fact that his first letter was a dismissal itself, which is not valid, and we have to sit down to make a decision over him because he is the obstacle in SAP, and that is why he has to be removed so that we can be able to progress with this SAP. You know, all the organizations have structures, and the structures have to work. If somebody does, it takes a decision without consulting with the organs of the organization, then he is not managing that organization. We have the biggest organ of SAP is called National Executive Committee. The National Executive Committee is made up of about 18 to 20 people, given the newly co-opted appointed officials to that organ. That organ was supposed to sit to make a decision on what should be done as a way forward for the conflict that has arisen. But General works at random. He would please to call anybody, whether he's junior or a senior, he can just call anybody and then sit down to talk informally. That is how it is run. And so that is what should be changed, because streamlining is necessary. And General is finishing the cadres. He is depleting the pool of staff with cadres by either angering them, by allowing homeboys to create conflict, and then he jumps in and take it as his own conflict, like my case, and that is it, the management that is happening.
So what is the goal by achieving spinning the party or making sure you are the leader of the party? What is the goal?
What?
What is the goal?
The goal?
Yes.
Of what?
Of the party. Or let's
the
say
goal of the
actually, it is actually a rebel movement. So what is the goal? What is the goal that you guys are trying to achieve at this point?
Well, the goal is...
Now you have split it from Malong. Probably Malong is going to go with rest of the group and you are with the rest of the group. What is the goal?
We will actually be the pursuit of the objectives of the party. That is, we are aspiring for a sustainable democratic South Sudan, where nationalism or nationhood is the benchmark, so that we cannot be polarized by tribal sentiments.
So follow up that question, Peter, is like, are you, so Sunday, are you going to, you and your team, are you going to create your own party, or what will happen?
Well, we have taken this up. If Malong persists to have a party, it's up to him. And if we persist to have a party, we are already having one.
Okay. Another question that I have is like the Rome peace agreement between SOMA and the government. So my question is regarding about that question. Now I see the letter that the SOMA released today, say that so your party is no longer a part of SOMA. So so the question is like, from the what from now on forward, are you guys going to be a part of the that engagement talk in Italy? Who will go?
Well, I saw the letter, like you have seen it.
Mm-hmm.
It was a decision arrived at by SOMA leaders after I have been removed. So I do not know the aspiration that are behind it. But from what I have read, SUF was suspended because there is this element of leakage and the internal conflict. Chairman himself, General Malong, the former one, has actually advised SOMA leadership that one of his cadres by name Lualdao was working with Juba and so should not be trusted. And the same Lualdao was the one now sent to convey the message of me being the person who is leaking the documents. After I've worked in SOMA long enough from the day of formation to just a week ago. So I do not know that fate, and it now depends with the SOMA leadership, and it also depends with the mediators, and it will also depend with the desire and aspiration of South Sudanese for a comprehensive resolution to the conflict, so that a sustainable peace is achieved for the progress of the country in very many pillars.
Okay. As you talk about the peace, let me follow up that question. As you talk about the peace, now your party, South Sudan United Front, is divided into two now. So what is the way forward, like to achieve to achieve the peace that's going on? So what is so your party is separated into two parties. So what is the way forward from now about the reality that for the peace between your party and the government and SOMA?
Well, the peace that we aspire to or for is not all about parties. It is about people. Okay? If it is about people, there is no party that has been earmarked to be the ones that represent people. All parties have a platform to engage with the government of the day, because you cannot only be left outside. That would not end the conflict. The conflict will still continue, and eventually the peace would not be achieved. Currently, there is an ongoing peace being implemented, but that was actually brokered by IGAD, the one between the SOA, other oppositions, and the government of South Sudan and the SPLM-IO. That one has been achieved and is being implemented, but still people are negotiating in Rome because it was not encompassing, and there is no reason why others would be left outside, so that tomorrow people come back and deliberate with them again on new terms and basis. So a peace agreement would be reached in Rome through the Sant'Egidio platform, and that is what those parties that are still outside now are waiting for, given it was prolonged and delayed by the impact of the coronavirus pandemic globally. So that is it.
Thank you, Dr. Sanejan. Yeah, go ahead, Peter, and we can give a chance.
I have to go back here a little bit. You said when I asked what is actually the organization hierarchy and which group is on your side and which group is on General Malong's side, you said you guys have about 18 to 20. Out of those 18 to 20, how many groups that you have actually delivered today that you are going to be the head of the party and General Malong has been dismissed?
Well, I told you right away from the time you asked the question that we are going to show the public this on Monday, and I do not know why you are persistently telling me to preempt it now. The decision is not made by me. It is made by these leaders that have come together to select me as one. I will only be an outlet for the communication and the authority vested upon me by the group. But I should not say we were like this and like this. That is completely unprofessional, and it is going to be a breach of ethics and code of conduct.
Okay, you don't have to answer, but I want to make sure. The reality is there is two conflicting stories where the party says you have dismissed, and yet in less than 24 hours you came out and said, oh, the party have decided General Malong is not capable of leading the party because of so and so, and here you have been elected as interim period. It seems like a within revolution.
No, that is not the case. You know, my dismissal just came out this evening. After I dismissed General Malong in the morning, I didn't know there is a dismissal elsewhere. And I have all the right to participate because I was only suspended and replaced as the spokesperson. And I still remain as a member of National Executive Committee. Yeah, actually, I'm a founding member. So there is nothing you can tell me that has not been regularized in that matter. So you cannot suspend me at will when there is no investigation that has been constituted. And also, General Malong works literally. He doesn't have a constitution. He rejects the constitution. He doesn't want any law. He is the law. He is everything that can decide for the instruments that are involved. So in this sense, there was nothing irregular. And so nobody even dismisses the other from the party. This is what we refer to as a liberation struggle. And going by the words of John Garang, how can you chase me away from war? I am participating in fighting. How do you have that authority of telling me to go away? How alone would you manage to fight? This is a fact. It is not a made-up story. So this thing is just demeaning. You cannot say, I have dismissed you. There is no law permitting Malong to do that.
Okay, I got one more question for you here. As the party now is split into two, and regarding the forces that you have, who is now leading the forces? Do you have army? Do you have people on the ground who accepted to follow you?
Well, first of all, I want to say that the forces that were existing for SUP until last week were based in Unity State, physically standing. But due to bad management, they have been actually taken away by the governor of Unity State. Currently, the small force that is there, we will see which direction they will go. And again, we cannot preempt. If the soldiers fight in the barrack, that would not be healthy. So we have to keep it low at that point. Both of us are claiming to be commander-in-chiefs. So we have to see which forces will go which direction.
Okay.
So, yeah, so as you said, you mentioned that you both of you and General Malong are claimed to be a commander-in-chief. So how many of you guys are founding father of the party, of this movement? How many of you, including General Malong and you?
Well, there are founding members. General Malong is one. I am one. Peter Okon Malwil is one. And also the political label with cadres. Mario Malong has gone, but is one. And others that have gone, I don't need to mention their name. They have gone, and including Ajang and others that I want to respect their profession, and I should not talk in their name because they have not authorized me to do that, have also gone. And the reason why I mention Ajang is also still actively the head of his SUP inside the country. So that is it. The founding people are there, including on the side of the army. There are also founding people from the army side and on the political wing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So as you see, that was Sunday, John, as the like the SOMA, the alliances group, SOMA, like including General Bagana Amom and General Tommy Chirilo. So what will they think about the move that you did, that you guys are breaking up? What do they think about this?
What they think is they have suspended us. That is what they thought. And more so, I do not know what they are thinking now because I don't have the ability to read their reasoning or their minds as per that matter. Yeah.
Okay. So, what about the region like the IGAD and AU and African Union and others who are part of peace and negotiation? So, what they're saying? Because your party, South Sudan United Front, is one of the holdouts group, and they were having communication with you guys for the peace to join the IO and the government. So, what this group will think about this crisis going on in your party?
Well, it's of course a bad reflection, as a matter of honesty. But the question remains: why must it happen? It is just lack of management. You should have managed your people until such time when the peace is achieved, or give them accountability that cannot be mutinied against. That is just accountability. So those are the things I can say about that. And the views by IGAD and all the other stakeholders of the peace process will be heard when people are now sitting on the negotiation or negotiating table as soon as possible.
So let's say this is hypothetically Sunday, that you guys are not going to agree at all. You decided to split into two. Are you also going to have to be on the table to join the Rome peace agreement or peace process? Or
well, our agreement or no agreement is not supposed to be hindrance to peace. Okay, that is one. Number two, the people don't agree if they don't sit to talk. Okay.
The reason is it is obstacle. Let's say, for example, so actually suspends you guys and doesn't want you guys to be a part of the negotiation. Are you going to decide to negotiate on your own behalf with the government, or what is it? It's absolutely obstacle.
That is on your thinking, but the forum is open to us, and it will be done according to the forum guidance and by the mediators. together with us. We will sit down, we will reason if it is allowed. But the reason why people don't reach certain understanding is that others are radical enough that they don't want even to see the eyes of the others. And that is not how it is handled. I have a space, you have a space. And if we were to accomplish something together, let's see our eyes. We should not be just bitter throughout. We have to look at each other's eye so that we can be able to read and understand and find a solution to whatever problem that is in the middle.
So how many members of South Sudan United Front that are standing with you now?
I told you South Sudan United Front is a big party with huge membership at some point. I told you the 18 are only the leadership council, the one they call National Executive Council. So if I tell you this, I have 10, I have 100, I have 1,000, that is only speculative. Let us not go to the registry of the party.
It's not a speculation. You have already said you have delivered. It means there were people actually sided with you. Why are you trying to deny that?
This is the question Malong is asking me. And you are trying to jeopardize the members by maybe trying to tell me to expose them for harms.
No,
that is not the way
we don't need a number. We just need a number. Let's say
Peter, you are speaking for Malong in this forum. I know.
No,
that is not how it works.
I have nothing to do with General Malong. I never liked the guy anyway for living because he was been singing the song that he's a person that will never actually rebel in South Sudan, and he ended up doing that. So I have nothing to do with the guy. But a simple fact, let's say there were 15 people, 8 people decided, that means you are a winner. That's the number we're looking for. We don't need the name.
No.
How is that becoming
the names and the numbers will be published, and you will see. If you need a copy, I will accept the Lake State media.
I don't need names. I only need numbers. That's what I was asking for.
I told you I have a huge support inside SUF because I'm a good servant. I have worked for them for long, adequately, and with my energies enough. Yeah.
Okay. Who is the a deputy chairperson of the party?
No deputy chairperson. Malong doesn't want a senior officer to be near him. Yeah, no deputy.
So the party has been led by one man without deputy?
Exactly. There is no deputy.
Why does that happen in your voice? You know that was a problem to the party.
And that is why I must be expelled now, because I always say this is wrong. I even champion, I have signed more than 2 memoranda of understanding with other parties that have accepted to merge with us. The cadres from those parties up to date have not been appointed because they come from other communities. And that is the basis of what I call nepotism in this document. It's just because I come from the other community, that is why the boys from the clan of General Malong, not a will, the clan of General Malong, have actually teamed up to kick me out and bring in their own. Oh. That is what has happened. It's just an issue of nepotism. Others are not needed because now peace is closer. They must be kicked out. But we are stakeholders. Others like myself have more enemies than Malong himself because I have been batching people on his behalf as a representative of the chairman. And you have seen how we quarreled here with Deng Ding the other day. I was defending the position of the chairman, not my position. What do I have to do with insults that I would hurl on people that have no conflict with me? But I have to do it anyway because it's the job I have been assigned to do. Now I have more enemies than him. And he is trying to kick me out to remain in the bush so that I die there. Would that one be a good intention? I have to look for my alternatives together with the team members that have also been affected like me. If you have more than 10 cadres that are very senior, that have resolved and absolute capacities, and you don't want them to get assignments, you don't want them to do anything for the party progress, and you circulate around with people who are substandard in many ways, less intellectual in every way. You have seen how shoddy the writings are these days. So that is it. We just for substandard. And because the platform is available, So there is hope that peace will come and the rest must be kicked out.
Okay, thank you. There is a letter that I saw it today, released by acting. I think she's an acting spokesperson of South Sudan United Front that they replaced you. And that letter, they were claiming about that they wrote that they need some information, like the legal document for the party. You want to hand them to them, huh?
Party
Well,
Yes.
well,
And then they said that if you are not turning in, they will take the legal action against you.
first
So
of
what
all,
do you want to respond about that?
those are mechanisms of coming closer to me to harm me. There is no any party property that is with me. But General Malong is bitter with my exit and the fact that I did not run away and keep quiet. I am still fighting for my space because I have no any other future besides what I have been building on for the last 2 years and a half. And then they are now trying to say there is something here so that they can come closer to me. I know their tricks. I have no any other party property that is with me. SAP was formed, and most of the time it is an entity that actually an individual has opted to work for it. And this, whether it is the logo and it is the stamps, I designed them together with colleagues like Mario Malong and Garang Malong. Those are the people, and all of us have been kicked out. So why do I have to give them to them when I have my SAP? Let them go to court if they have a jurisdiction. Where will they sue me? In the Kenyan courts? We are not Kenyans. More so, we are rebels. We don't have any legal documents that give us the platform to sue each other. Number two, there is nothing that was provided to me as a property of SAP to hold. Those are just mere issues. They are personal things that they are calling for, the computers. How do you call for my personal computer? So that I give it to you. Why? What is that? This is what just I have referred to as a kind of knack. It has no basis and it does not have any substantial law aspect of it. But because our chairman is very dubious, he even has intention to kill the members, like what he did to Dudia the other day. He is trying to create a case so that I come closer to him to harm me. That is it. And also, you should note now, you viewers here, that I am also being threatened, including with that letter that gives me 72 hours and certain action will be taken against me. Those are threats to my life. I know how they are being cooked.
Okay, what if the group choose to be neutral, not to take a side, and you left alone? What will be your next step toward peace?
There is no group that can live alone, can leave me. You just be patient. You don't have to speculate. Let things happen. So I used to say, buy a guy ziada. That is a language in Lex. So both of you with Brother Tiang may know it. If I say buy a guy ziada, you understand what I mean. So buy a guy ziada, I can reiterate. And my brother Peter Keny, I believe also you know this language. Given your name, I can guess you are also from my territory and possibly in the territories of Aliap. That is a wild guess. Is that true?
It's right, and I'm for sure.
Okay, you know Chanyi.
Okay, there's one of.
Arid quite.
Let me give this one. There's one of the guys who he won't ask you an important question. I want to bring him up.
Farah Haidit. Farah Haidit asked a question. If you are reinstated back there it is. He said, if Gerald Malong put you back as a spokesman, would you be able to reconcile to go back?
No, I am not fighting for the issue of position. I am fighting for the right procedure. Okay? Being a spokesman is the worst work you have to do because you will speak, including with the lies that are, like the ones that are being put on me now and that I have put on other people before. So you can only be made to be dishonest if you are taken for a position of a spokesman. But you can do it anyway if it is an assignment. But for that matter, I'm not returning to that position. And we're not reconciling because General was in a fighting mood and he was nearly even boxing me. I am not ready to exchange bad words or blows with an elder. I respect him as an elder, and I should not go back closer to him because he is not happy with me based on the instructions given to him by a cousin of his in the person of Makwaidwal, to say the least. Yeah.
Okay. What if the executive committee go back and said, okay, hold on a minute. Instead of going disarray, let's sit down. Since we don't have a vice president, let's do a restructure. And you end up being appointed vice president.
Look here, my case is not position.
Is that a technical?
No. My case is not the position. My case is, you yourself, you have an image that you have to protect. My words can be political, but my image will always be mine. You cannot tarnish me by saying that I work for an institution that has deprived me of opportunity to practice my medical career and then become an accomplice working for an enemy. Why do I have to negate myself? What is it that I cannot do outside this to serve me in other areas of my life? This is completely a character assassination, a destruction, and is meant to kill me.
Okay, Sunday.
Because if there was...
my last question, I'm about to excuse myself. What, let's say, so I say completely, your party...
SOMA, not SOA, SOMA.
Okay, SOMA.
Yeah, SOA in Juba.
Okay. Excuse me. So if SOMA said, okay, you guys are in disarray, that said, we don't want you guys to be a part of the peace negotiation, and you guys ending up splitting. General Malong remain with the rest of the party. You have your own. Are you going to negotiate with the government, or are you going to find another window to negotiate outside with the other party?
That is still speculative. SOMA has not said that yet. What they did is a suspension.
Yes.
And they have a very good reasoning capacity. They are leaders of quality. They'll all know what to do to find a solution. They'll have to find a solution. Am I with you?
Yes.
Yeah, they'll have to find a solution. And if the worst come to us, there will be no party left in the call, because this peace should be comprehensive, so that conflict is annihilated or killed fully, so that peace is what could reign in the country. And I believe also with the Lake State media, you pray and ask that peace should come to the country, because it is very good. Peace give people the chance to do whatever they want at will. That is why now you have a Lake State media, because you are in a peaceful environment where you can be able to reason, including creating a small TV that will bring the society together and reason well, and know each other and educate each other and believe in each other values and norms like that. So it is a product of peace. So we will not, I on my side or my faction will not be interested in negotiating sideways with any other entity. The platform is Rome, and this platform we have to be in.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Sunday. Before I give a chance to Uncle Terbang, there's a good question that Nelson McCoy has you, which is, I think you part of it. You answer. He asking you, has Sunday, are you doing to particular in Rome talks? How about you are not going to be invited to join talk? What would you do? So that the question comes from Nelson McCoy. I mean.
Okay, Nelson McCoy is also my primary school colleague, a classmate, of course, for that matter, during the liberation days, more so in Lian Upper Primary School in the rural Europe. His question is not that bad, but let us not also speculate. I do not have a rejection or a confirmation that I should participate there or not. So the elimination from the peace equation comes from Malong, but that is not what we should go by. Who is he that one peace that remove the other one from peace? That is the questions that come by. So both of us want peace. Why eliminating me? This is the question that need to be answered by all. And it is not rhetorical. It has answers. If you can remove somebody from peace, it means you have scorns. You hate them. You don't want them to survive. You want them to die. You want them to be in war and not in peace. So that thing, let us put it aside, because we are not determining what to be done today. It will be determined, including by mediators. So why leave me out? That is the question. You can deny me position, but give me peace, because peace also provide, including a cover for treason. Rebellion is a treasonous act, and I am part of it. So why should I walk away? Why should you create a platform for me when there is one for all of us?
All right, thank you, Sani John. Let me give this chance to Uncle Terabang Majak. So let him.
I'm heading out. Sunday, it was nice having you. And
don't go, brother Ken. Don't go. You have questions. You have good questions.
No, I would like to hear from you on Monday, because you said, give me 72. I mean, give me up to Monday. You will come up with the list. I don't need them, but I want to make sure it wasn't a battle that's going on there and you just take off.
I know, that is why I was saying you speaking for Malong. You just preempt me. You undermine me. You think I am too small to have people in SAP. But I am not like that. I also have people.
No,
okay?
Sunday,
people are those.
We are tired of war. Let's say you guys are straight fighting each other is still a problem. And that's the whole reason why we have Lagos State media. We just want to say time to silence the gun is here. No more guns. So
I did not start the fight.
More information, so public will be certified. You start accusing people. Probably that's the reason you also get accused, because everything is accusing someone is doing this. Everything is a simple question. But anyway, it was nice having you.
Okay, I hope you wouldn't incriminate me too.
I got all sorts of names on this social media, so
and they are not in bad faith also.
Thank you, guys. Let me give a chance to Terabang before we close the show, so he can put in his question.
Comrade Uncle Madid. Thank you so much, and Isaac King Paul, and Brother Sunday, John. I think our Mora Bujaro Michache, and the social media too. But I like being already done spokesman of General Paul Malong a long time ago. But I think Shan want to Oyen Kabalu, but Nanku Kampat, we can bring our color all with the media again. Before Kijan Van questioning, what I'm to you, Matty. Yan Taban and Bakalim to know where the state media hosting Isaac Gulatin Paul, Badit, Yan and a bit so a lot one will not throw from one young. Kian and Yika, a chan Kutioga Jam working Kuna, a Kuna memory to know one young bun. Yen may him Tintaban, getting a char against us one young. Queen again is that quite young man, Nongsra and Majalbita politics within South Sudan or in party and Bukalim Samiyat like SPLM, Yula SPLMIO, Yula Jina Rukra, Nong Pilapartia, Almoso, Juduba Sudan, Keka Kabana Chokaping, Wachoka Die, Woban, Watch Katakaji Ratin, Machak Kan Ratin, Machak Sia. Mitiogo man, a Chijadung, Serika Bata, Peter Litipagi of Dar Salam, a rare man with a mom sharp Juduba Sudan. Where did Fagia can bomb the author? Lisbon, a quite one what come over 10 minutes Sunday, Kujola and Childa Malong Awan, Kujola quite correct to me, Thomas Cirillo, who quite cocktail, Timini Wuntin, my Lucachol, Emmanuel Jawid, Kujola quite cocktail. So, man, take it in one lot. Who will see Sunday Kalo 10, particularly jammed into well 10. Yan, Kujola quite die, Kinuba back, Gas and one young Bezat. We're very confused. Color 10, Majalbita politics. Yanu politics rare for South Sudan. I chiran one a leg Malong to long sharp bita you do. Career tin 10, as for art, Jedel Siasia, Mandu Manaber, Mandu Ayi Moakit, Wadi Malim, one living a sharp, Binka Bay, Major Al Hagigi, which you got white to buy, or which you buy Chogariak, or which you could chuck a choga white, who can't get chicken as that, Marhalajik, Kajuka Kilatika, a Kunu, Ukaradi baked. Quajita Banimatioga, I think a yak pin team joke, within all corners of South Sudan, including Mascarat. Timin do all you are, you talk like Nairobi, you like Uganda, you like Khartoum, Egypt. When it kind of continent, told me the European, I tabanin, including Tim Walker of West. Watch Murtai, what tabanin. The some of that CSat, which are quite you, majal bita politics within South Sudan. And Yom, quite are very confused. Yan mind to imagine that water, majal bita politics. Confused that bay. A Sunday man, you take. Weekend will get a bun. A kunu pay the bita sharp. Weekend will get a kaka come look, well a kiki cake, no kiki take it. The man what you think. No takrin to pin quite a bank Latin and yen. Until I bent no we get that. Kamal Benang show the bug ballot. Yen, a long pilafat dark here. Takir one chill low, takir metallic bill only dash. You can't change jump in here. Even quite one day got a long bantu. Kwame Moab Besida. When it is a long Shamal Barkazal or beyond long in Katoria some. Wherever talk a for scan. So Kaka, I am a jal metallic with Masail Amnia. But Masal Amnikine, a Masal General in South Sudan. I check Bogo Bentijan Sunday. Like him, keep yoga non Arbaga, Pidula Argela, CSC, Lord the man, Majalbita politics. A Kuru cake and no kick be yoked here. Minidale Siasat Kate. A Kaloya Kumake, well a Kalu I can with the Kero, with Jan Walo, one of Mushela Kuma could buy much. Wake a man, what Kero that we had on my son come go to Jabella take. Yep, nice sharp. Hug the torture 10. You couldn't sharp, yeah, you 10. Moving up the city. Akiaka Papaka, where one here, back at here, because it is Sunday, because you're including what can you talk out, I can get him on Malong one. King is one jack, but can and yeah, but what can you from one jack? Who be in the very take it. He had seen it in a Mushilakina of sharp in Jurup. A Kadi, the sharp Benum La Beja Mashakli Kay. Kugurku, a door, Panda Bedor. Be quite one mum, quite one coan, Pandan and Yaga, Benum La Becadi. I take a few at the quite empty. King Bernang Hania Matthew, a Mukri in a Gurkuman. He took here, he can peace bay. The Michina Dantin call around all the Colombo nation, old nation, including the dual Limia, East Africa. Kokak, Adrica Lutin. But the end Badicatin, the Tajin of Sunday, Quanabija bad. Ben, you know, the Binwell Baja Baboon. Thank you.
Thank you, Uncle Terabang. Sunday, go ahead and respond. I don't know. There are a lot of people who are commenting here that you can either speak English or Arabic. So some of the non-Dinka, they are complaining. So you can go ahead if you can answer Uncle Terabang's question in English or Arabic, so the rest can hear it. Because that's a very good question.
Shukran, I can capably translate that one in my mind and then respond in English, simply because I'm not so good in Arabic. I've forgotten it. Lakin I used to know with Ana kunta bi'arif, lakin asa khalas fatat. Let me go back in English. The question is, despite all the egos that are being done inside the organizations that are outside the country, the movements and the ones also that are inside the country, what could be the benefits or that would be reaped by the citizen, the normal citizen, the ones that are not part of political process? As a matter of honesty, 90% of the conflicts in South Sudan are not informed by the ideologies. They are only informed by interest, and I say interest. Now, we only following the old schools, and we do not have a plan. We have ideas that we have conferred. So we be actually being controlled. If you go beyond that, you will be kicked out with charges of treason and all those. So Sharp is actually getting victimized further and further. They're not benefiting anything out of this. And as a matter of honesty, we aspire to achieve a certain peace for the purposes of maintaining status quo as people work, real work. And that is why Rome process has always been saying we have to address the conflict from the roots. The roots would mean even allowing a good document, the law, to take part, so that people don't fight over something that is not in the law, that is necessary. So I am going to admit, as a matter of honesty, that SHARP is not benefiting. They are getting victimized, and we have to work to ensure that this one is corrected. And that's why I'm crying. I'm a victim. I have made myself dirty in defense of a politician with all those records that you know, and I am now being left to die. I am also a victim like Chap. I don't have political power. I don't make decisions. I only work for somebody and then kick me out in the interest of maybe death. That is what is happening. So Chap is a victim. Sharp Bita Junuba Sudan, wherever they are, they're victims. And you have rightly stated it. Even you in the Western world, it is not all about nice clothing and beddings and maybe nice environment. That is not it. It is all about the upstairs. If your brother is dying in the rural parts of South Sudan, and even if you are in Australia or in the United States, you don't sleep at night. You don't have peace of mind because you know something bad is going on somewhere. This is a guilt conscience, and it has to be expunged from the root. And that is why we have to work collectively. And that is why I accepted to come to the Lake State media and would accept to go elsewhere, so that I can also share with the rest in talking about the issues of the country. It is not all about bitterness. I'm not bitter against anyone. I am only trying to keep my image clean. That is the whole saga here. And the fact that I would be killed if I'm left in the cold. All in all, we have objectives to achieve, not through the instruments that we have now, but through the outlook of the country, so that we can be able to, first of all, put the laws in place and kill the idea of tribalism or nepotism that is now affecting the SAP. So we should be concerned with that, all of us, including those that are not in politics, because politicians will not determine the fate of the citizens. It is the good laws that will. And good laws will be made by all and not politicians. And this will bring prosperity, because the law will inform accountability and all those goodies that comes with good system. So let us work to address the root causes of the conflict, so that we can be able to achieve a sustainable peace. And with sustainable peace, we can be able to do good working ground, where we can have good documents, where we can be able to have good institutions and policies that will now work for the good of the citizen. That is the time citizens will not become victims. But like this, no, it will just be self-seeking, and conflict will always be conflict.
Okay.
Na
Thank you.
na chanya dugnom ki dugbeti lakin na kay dugnom apot ki tieje achamba dede tag donong ki chakal no kay nyai dede. Sorry, the rest are not getting me.
And another thing too,
Yes.
if you have
Yes,
a
thank you.
question, you can ask it in Arabic, so the rest can listen. If Sani can understand the question in Arabic.
Uncle.
Yep.
Okay.
I will
Okay.
understand.
Thank you. Anyway, yen ito gultu kalam ito jibtu ijaba bitamshi the side bita sharp sort bita sharp bita junub. Ala sazinu sharp bita junub pelan victim majal bita siyasat al side في جنوب السودان. وهذا كلام الكلام كل الجنوب بيعمل agree فيه. including support بتاع government بتاع جنرال سلفا كير ميادي. Yes, we agree. إنه الشيء قاعد يحصل في كل مجال بتاع الخلافات السياسية الموجودة على مستوى جنوب السودان هي خلافات هامشية. خلافات ما عنده أي وجود سياسية. ممكن يعمل بنيان بتاع المجتمع وبنيان بتاع الدولة. So أجادل فعلا كلنا agree. حتى جنرال سلفا كير ميادي is agree. But the problem here كيف إنه أن إحنا نقدر نعمل accept. It's something we agree. إنه الشعب بتاعنا في جنوب السودان is a victim. أننا دايرين المخرج ده كلكم السياسيين كانوا في حكومة في وقت حاضر مع جنرال سلفا كير ميادي أو كلكم الناس اللي قاعدين في السايد بتاع المعارضة. السايد بتاعكم بتاع المعارضة هسه حاليا هي have a big problem. يعني حكومة عمل accept ل peace agreement. American peace agreement شكلوا به حكومة بتاع peace agreement التمت في خرطوم وانتوا كنتوا part of it. وpeace agreement ده انتوا ما مقتنعين وفي جزء مقتنعين. طيب الاختلاف بتاعكم القراركم انتم كان ما تكونوا جزء من الاتفاق بتاع 2018 الاساس شكل ابوه حكومه بتاع الوحده الوطنيه قاعد فيه حاليا جزء من احزاب سياسيه زيكم كده هسه حاليا انتوا بقيتوا في اوتسايد الحكومه، والناس اللي في الحكومه شغلوا الحكومه وقاعدين مع الحكومه ما قادرين يمشي بكتار بتاع البلد بحجج بتاع انه في لسه تراكم سياسيه موجود. السبب بتاع التراكم السياسي الموجود ده الناس لايك يو جاي، لايك فول مالون اول، لايك يو ساندي، لايك امانويل جاوين، لايك دول اسمه توم سيريلو، وادر رس لسه ماشي لسه قاعد في الساعه المرض. هنا السياسات اللي انتم تناووا له عشان انه تقدر تعملوا ريش لاعانه بتاع الشعب بتاع جنوب السودان. 200 كلكم تقدر تعملوا اجري لتلك الباب عشان تقدر تعالجوا المساله دي، عشان الشعب ده يقدر يقدر ياكل انفاس في وطن حقه في مسير حياته بتشدد معنا اللي هو ستيل عايش فيه. انتوا قاعدين تكترفوا على ده السبب اللي احنا بنسال انفسنا في كل الصعيدات. احنا ما عندنا طرف. يبقى لو جينا مثلا مجال بتاع بوليتيك ما يسمى عذاب السياسيه، ما عندنا عذاب السياسيه. ما هو اس بي ال ام ذاته نفسه احنا ما بنشوف ده حزب سياسي. لو جينا في جد يعني لو هو حزب سياسي كان ناشونال بارتي زي ما الناس بيقولوها، هو المفروض كان يعمل محاورات داخليه عشان يعالج المسائل السياسيه. وهو الجسم اللي طلع الجنوب بقى الناس بيصاروا فوق الليله ده اس بي ال ام بارتي. فيبقى اس بي ال ام بارتي 15 سنه ناس عاملين مناقشات سياسيه وخلافات سياسيه وجدل سياسي وشعب يعني ما يعني، وحتى الان ما قادر يلقى مخرج واحده. كل مفاصل بتاعت السياسات بتاعت اس بي ال ام سلمته للحكم الاقليمي. يعني الناس المسؤولين في الحكومات الاقليميه اللي استلم المفاصل بتاعت السلطه في الجنوب. الجنوب بقى قاعد بدل الاريان مصلوب من الاخرين، ليس في يد بتاع ابناء الجنوب. اين السياسيين الجنوبيين؟ ده السؤال بتاعنا هنا كابناء الشعب. اين السياسيين الجنوبيين؟ ما دورهم صار في هذا الجدل. ده السؤال بتاعنا. انت لما تيجي تقول لي يا اخي انا عندي كلام مع سلفا كير ما قادر ينفذ الاتفاقيه، سلفا كير عامل فساد، سلفا كير قاعد يعين حراميه. طيب وات اباوت يو؟ انت قاعد برا لسه قاعد تشم نفسك، انت عندك مواجهه مع الدول اللي قاعد تشاكل، انت اصلا ما قاعد تكشف نفسك. احنا نقول شنو لسلفا كير؟ طيب وانت اصلا قاعد تكشف نفسك، انت ما قاعدين في سايد واحد عشان تقدر توحد السياسات بتاعتكم بتاع المعارضه يكون بديل للسياسات بتاع الحكومه. الناس قاعدين يشاكلوا من اجله عشان يخيروها ويجيبوا سياسات كويسه ممكن يعيش الشعب في المقال الحقيقي. اين كل السياسات دي؟ حاجات دي طبعا استاذ ساندي I hope انت تجاوب حاجات دي بطريقه كلير. وثانك يو.
شكرا brother Aterbang. I admire your good lecture. Lakin, to respond to this, I would want to tell you that we have to admit that there is a big problem in our country. And this big problem in our country is what we have been trying to search for its solution. And when you bring the agreement that was signed in Khartoum as a reference point, the parties that are currently outside have a case. They were interested in ensuring that the agreement should be reached after addressing the problem from its roots. It is just like science. If you are to handle a problem and you want to treat the sick patient, you don't handle the symptoms. Symptoms will only show you that the pointing organ is this one. And so you'll have to know which underlying disease or pathology is there so that you can be able to treat it from that root. And if you do that one, the patient will wholesomely be well. That is what the parties that are now outside have asked for during that forum, but that was denied because that peace also was hell-bent at some point, not because the South Sudanese were not interested, but there were also political interests from within the region, and particularly our former leader, President Bashir. So the peace agreement was not compatible with the negotiating groups so that they can be able to resolve the problem amicably. It was also involving the snatching away of our resources. There were benefits to be gained by Khartoum, or that have been gained by Khartoum, and which the oppositions were thinking differently from the other government side, that they should be protected because the Mahal Bita Jinubin, it should remain theirs. It should not be given to Bashir. Why compensate Bashir for war that happened in Idlib? And they participated, they shot at our forces, and the reverse was true. So the damages were for all sides. Why now he wants to be compensated? It's simply because we are in conflict and he's taking advantage of the situation that we are in. And therefore, the oppositions were not interested to give him that advantage. Plus many other things. And that is why you see as the peace that is now being implemented in Juba is not progressive. It's not because maybe somebody is gagging it so much, but it is because it has been designed in such a way that it becomes so hard for implementation to actually take shape as planned. And also the same people have interest there. And so if it is being implemented and your interest is not coming directly, you have to create a process of delaying it. All in all, South Sudanese are victims. And that is why we have to sit down and reason until we find a solution. Because even if we disperse, we will not find a solution. It is our reasoning together that will give us the ability to know each other and then accept ourselves with our weaknesses, and without discriminating ourselves on the ethnic lines. Then we reason as nationals, and then we will become a united country that is prosperous. And this would only because the root causes of what make us annoyed against each other are addressed. And that is what we aspire for, and that is what is on the table in Rome. So we do not have a problem. And we have never been saying those who have signed that agreement, we are against them. No, we're not against the agreement. We are only against the process. We need agreement to be reached after the problem has been addressed from the root. This is what I can say about that. Although there were so many other points that have been mentioned, I wouldn't go in detail so much, not to lengthen the talk. So, Shukran, your questions are very much nationalistic. They steer the thoughts that would even make you forget about the conflict you have with your other brother, and then think critically on how to achieve peace in the country. So that is what I can say for this. Shukran.
Okay, thank you so much, Terbang, and thank you so much, Dr. Sunday the John, for coming out and answering the questions that being asked by the South Sudanese who are really interested for peace to come in the country. So we appreciate your presence tonight for you. I think I will hand it back to Madid because I think we have exhausted some of the questions. We want to be going longer than now. With 1 hour, 2 minutes already.
Yeah, thank you, Isaac, and thank you, Dr. Sandy John, for coming in. So we will be ending the show now. I know it's late now. It's 2 a.m. from you guys in Nairobi, Kenya. So thank you for coming in. The message that we want to tell you guys, we need peace in South Sudan. And we hope that you and General Malong can come to the agreement that you guys can make a peace with each other, so both parties can come together and then move from there, because that's what we want. We want peace. We don't need another every year people are breaking up. So thank you for accepting our team, for coming into Lagos State Media, and we will bring you back again on Monday if you come back. So I know your colleague Emmanuel is watching, and I hope you guys, I don't know what's going on. Probably you guys can fix something out in SOMA so that the peace, that negotiation going on between SOMA and government can be fruitful, instead of other party is break away and then suspended from SOMA. And these issues can bring a confusion between SOMA and the government, and who will do the peace. So we need peace. That's what we want in South Sudan. So thank you, Dr. Sunday John. I will give you your last word before I close the show.
Sure. Thank you very much, Madid Majak, for giving me this opportunity once again. I would want to say that nobody is anti-peace, because all love peace. And I'm telling South Sudanese that despite all the divisions and whatever that is happening, still there is hope that something will be made out of this for the good of the country. All in all, we will address the conflict from its roots, and that is for sustainable peace to be achieved. And I would wish you, wherever you are, very good luck and good sleep if you are to go to sleep, or very good time at work or during prayers. And so, yeah, there are others that work on Sundays. Even doctors do. Even those in the restaurants do, and others would do. So I salute you, and I can't say much or after that. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a wonderful night. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Isaac. Thank you, Uncle Terbang. Have a wonderful night, and have a happy Sunday morning to you guys. Thank you, guys.
It's your boy Young Ajibin that time. Pancho leg stand and punchy America. Banyi doll, banaban. Pancho leg stand and punchy America. Banyi doll, banaban. Walk on your leg, kankaro watana watching. Oga leg, gear, wow, very leg. Panda with ya, punchy America. Banyi doll, bana. Chingatongo pandon kujura by a checker. Paku panda jiro, what ya be doll, stand punchy America, Banji doll, Banaban, Pancho leg stand punchy America, Banji doll, Banaban, walk on your leg, Kankaro, what on watching, Oga leg, gear, wow, very leg, Panda with ya, punchy America, Panya doll, Bano, Chingatongo, Pandon, Kujura by a checker.
Thank you, everybody.